and it is a saucy match tonight.
Yeah, good evening, Zeph. Good evening, everyone out there. It's really getting to crunch time here in the ANZ Pro League, and we've got a fantastic match tonight. We've got the top two teams that are ranked in the tournament, and they'll be going head-to-head to see who can claim that coveted number one spot on the leaderboard. So it's going to be Downfall versus SYF Gaming to kick things off tonight.
And what a great match. I think there's a lot of anticipation for this one as well. These guys put their couple of points up on that scoreboard very early in the competition, so they've been looking pretty good so far. As you can see there, SYF played 2-1-2, similar story for Downfall. Legacy just last and this week have gotten their first win on there, and they're looking a lot better. So SYF and Downfall still leading the way. And tonight's a bit of a decider because the one who wins this is going to be feeling pretty darn good about themselves going up to getting into those grand finals. So I'm pretty hyped for tonight's matches. And while we get this first lobby set up, Death, I've been told you have a prediction for tonight.
Yeah, it's going to be controversial. I actually wasn't going to get to it very quickly because I might look very silly after the first map, but I'm feeling, Zeph, like this might be a quick 3-0. I feel like SYF might come out all guns blazing. When you've got someone like Hut and Seether on your team, very good Terrans in the region, they can share a lot of insight and strategy into the Terran versus Protoss matchup. They only have to practice the one. And I feel like the way that the matchups have come out tonight, I could easily see SYF taking this one very quickly.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I don't necessarily agree, but you raise a good point with them having to only practice for one matchup. That's actually something that I didn't consider with their very strong Protoss lineup here. Starting in Ascension Die, going to Catalyst, Abyssal Reef, then Neon Violet Square, and if we get there, hopefully we do, we'll be going to Blackpink. Now, I do think the Downfall have a pretty good chance here. Like all other teams, maybe, yes, they're all Protoss, but they've had good time to prepare against their opponents. Been very impressed with Luneth, for example. This is the first time I've been casting him in any sort of tournament, and he's played a bit of a wonky style. We've seen a cannon rush, we've seen him go straight for a gold base into DTs and Immortals. He's played really well, and I think he probably does have a pretty good shot against Crimson, who does have a lot of achievements to his name, but that sort of cheeky play is hard to look past for me. In Luneth, Blisk, a veteran, I think his match against Seether is going to be a bit tough. Similarly has a bit of a cheeky style if he wants to. I'm actually not sure how he's playing at the moment. Similar to like Luneth and your frustrations of the world, so maybe he can clinch a win there. But Pez as well, for our first match up against Hut, this guy's been around the scene for so long, and sure, he's not consistently playing all the time, but I have a lot of faith in his ability because he's one of those players that's just like naturally good, and if he's preparing for a player, I think he could definitely take out someone like Hut, especially, now I don't want to put too much weight on this, but especially since Terran's not having the best time against Protoss at the moment.
Yeah, no, you raised some good points, and I could see that Pez could possibly take a game off Hut, and Bliss could possibly take that game off Seether. Definitely, it's a possibility. And if both of those players do win, I'll kind of consider both of those to be upsets, but I'll be very happy with it because we'll likely go to an ace match. Yeah. I think that Luneth will fall to Crimson. There's a possibility for an upset there, so maybe he can make something happen. But I really wouldn't give Ice much of a chance against Mighty Kiwi. I feel like he got the short end of the stick tonight with that matchup.
That is rough, yeah.
He's really developed and he's definitely improved as a player, but against someone like Mighty Kiwi, that's such a tough ask. I feel like I'd only really favor Probe. It'd be the only Protoss I'd favor against Mighty Kiwi in the entire region.
That's a fair call. That guy is actually getting so good. I wouldn't be surprised to see him win a WCS or two next year, in fact. So that is a rough match for Ice. So I think for Downfall to make it happen, they're really going to have to strut their stuff in the first 3 matches. So I do think they have a chance of taking it tonight. Um, my prediction though is going to be more like I don't know if I want to go with 3-1 or 3-2 for SYF. Maybe I'll go with 3-2.
All right, hedging your bets a little bit. You've got a lot of faith then in Pez and Blisk, which I understand. Love to see it go that far because really do want some more StarCraft. I mean, I don't like predicting a 3-0, but I just felt like that was the most likely outcome. But I think the next most likely outcome is probably a 3-2, like you're saying. And then we
Yeah.
get into a very awkward position because when you're in an ace match and you're in such a high pressure environment, maybe, just maybe, Downfall can have a little bit of luck and a lot of skill on their side tonight. They've definitely got a chance.
Yeah, absolutely. And hopefully they surprise us a little. I know you've been doing very well on the predictions lately, so
It's been a little bit hit or miss. You know, I've hit
hey.
some, I've missed some, but it's been a lot of fun just casting it with you and enjoying the ride, so to speak.
Yeah, I've had a ball. So I'm hoping it's not a 3-0 because we always like maximum games. They have been pretty short streams for us, even with an ace match coming in. So we really like to stretch it out. So guys, we're just waiting on Pez, to restart as good old Battle.net is playing up. So while we do that, let's just have a look at what matches we have remaining because we're actually getting pretty close to the end, Death.
We've only got 4 matches remaining for the rest of the tournament after this one. So next week on the Tuesday, we will have Downfall Gaming versus Legacy Esports. So Downfall still very high up on the leaderboard now. If they get a win, they'll be in a great spot. Legacy will be definitely looking to just smash that series out, take a quick win. They wouldn't want it to go to an ace match. If Legacy is going to be in the grand finals at the end of this tournament, they need to build up some of the lost ground. I think their win did go to an ace, so they're not really doing too well on the map score. And they just in the middle of the pack at the moment, and they just need something to propel themselves forward. But Downfall will be definitely competing there very, very well as well.
Yeah, and I think that's going to be an exciting match. Legacy, bit of bumpy start for them, I guess, but they're really improving week to week, and their matches are becoming very strong. So I actually am looking forward to that one myself. And then, of course, we have 1F Pro versus SYF. We will be broadcasting that one on Wednesday. I think we'll confirm that.
I think it's scheduled for 8:30 at this point, looking at Liquipedia, so it might be a little later. I'm not sure.
Yeah, well, regardless, guys, it will be streamed, which is awesome because we want to make sure we get all those matches in. And then that leaves our final match before the grand finals go on between 1F Pro and OSC Elite on the 14th of December. So yeah, really not a lot left before we hit that 19th of December, and we'll be playing that decider between the two top teams.
It's going to be a good time, and what they're fighting for is a share of $3,000. So first place team will be taking away 1,400. Second place gets 800 for their troubles. Third place 400, and fourth and fifth will get $200. And I think after currency conversion, it's roughly like 3,500 Australian. So great stuff for all of their work, but it's great exposure as well for the teams. It's been fantastic seeing everyone tuning in and so many loyal viewers coming back time and time again for these broadcasts. I know that we've both really enjoyed it, and I think Blizzard, fantastic job stepping up to the plate for this tournament, and so have GameStar with the production.
Yeah, exactly. It's been really good fun, and this is a pilot test for us, guys. If you've been enjoying the competition so far, tweet at Blizzard and let them know that you've had a lot of fun and that you'd like this to continue, because we hope that it's going to become a regular thing so we can keep having that competitive team environment within our region. I think it's definitely very healthy considering the number of players that got picked up on teams and getting that competitive nature back that we probably haven't seen since 2011, 2012, when there are a few more pro teams around, a few more clan leagues and that sort of stuff. So, yeah, I'm hoping that this will continue on.
Yeah, let's hope. And only time will tell. Now, we've got a little bit of a technical issue, which is why the games haven't started just yet. Now, Pez has had some issues with the new patch that's just came out. So what we'll be doing is we'll go into game number 2 first. So we're kind of reordering the maps here. And then we'll go into Pez's game against Hut after that. So starting things off tonight now is going to be Luneth versus Crimson. And we'll just get that started as quickly as we can. So bear with us, guys.
Flipping the tables on us. Luneth vs Crimson. So we spoke about this one a little bit already. Catalyst, a good map to roll into. So hopefully it's not too upsetting for these guys to have that map order shuffled around on them last minute. But yeah, as we mentioned, Crimson, really strong player. I've always said he's incredibly consistent in no matter what tournament we've had in this region. So always expecting good things from here. And Luneth playing a bit of an interesting style at times. I do have faith that he could take a win here. And to be fair, I think Downfall really do need a win in the first couple of maps, or it's going to be kind of difficult to get that momentum to take it home all the way to Black-Pink if they do lose a map.
Yeah, for sure. If they don't get a win in the first couple of games, they're not going to make it to the ace match. It's just that simple. So every map counts so much in a tournament like this. Quite a bit of pressure on both of these players. Now, I would love to see Luneth take a win here, honestly. As much as like my heart is cheering for Crimson, it's kind of like, well, there's that underdog story. And Downfall have really surprised everyone and really surprised me with their strong performances so far. It's kind of blown me away because I felt like at this point in the tournament, they would be at the bottom of the pack. But they're at the top. And if they win tonight, they will solidly be at the top and they'll probably be in the grand finals.
That's it. Yeah, I really agree with that sentiment too, because they were the newest kids on the block. Previously, I think they only had Ice on their roster. Someone will correct me if I'm wrong, I'm sure. But they really went out on a hunt to find some good players to pick up, and I think they've done a fantastic job. They certainly smacked me in the face for saying that there's hardly any Protoss in the region because they found all of them, apparently.
They found all of them. It's been great. And we've finally got the countdown started, finished. We're loading into the map, and we'll be kicking off on Catalyst in just a couple of seconds' time.
That's it, guys. Get on the Twitterverse. Let people know that this is starting. I've been slacking on the tweets myself. I only just did mine. Please make up for my failure and let people know what's going on, because the action is starting right now, and I'm ready for some ZVP. I'm down.
So ready for this. And we're in. So let's kick things off by introducing our player down here in the bottom right-hand corner, hosting the purple color, loving it. It's Luneth.
And in the top left, in the red, representing SYF, this is Crimson.
I suppose it's no mistake that he's always playing in red.
True. I like how both these guys have their team colors, so to speak. So they've got like what, black and purple and black and red. Looks good, man.
Whoa. What's happening here, Zeph? We're seeing a Forge. Now, this could be for a Cannon Rush, or this might be for a Forge Fast Expand.
Cannon Rush, come on.
Definitely going to be cannons. And look at this. This second probe coming out of the map as well. He can use this to reinforce at the natural, or if Crimson kind of sacrificed his position and went off to the third base, he can follow up with another Cannon Rush there.
It is some dirty tactics here to start things off. And I kind of wondered in the back of my mind if Luneth would pull this out. He did it against Rise as well in a PvP. But the beautiful thing about Cannon Rush, I guess, is that you can do it in any matchup if you like. So here we go. He does have already 2 pylons finished. And a third one coming up with a single cannon tucked away nicely in a corner there.
Yeah, that cannon's not going down anytime soon, Zeph. And I would love to see Luneth just like add salt to the wound and maybe build a shield battery along with this too. That sort of stuff. It's very demoralizing. Does actually manage to find a drone kill, cancels the hatchery, and a third or a hatchery at the third base location is forced to go down. But no Nexus so far for Luneth, so Crimson's definitely not down and out. He's just taking a little bit of damage. Oh, and look at that.
Yeah, keeps him vision there on that mineral line, stops him from taking another gas. It's a bit of a bother too. Your units will automatically start attacking that, so we'll go down in a second, but you know what, Luneth is not done yet. He's going to try and go for the round 2 cannon rush over here, and it's just out of range of vision. That hatchery can't see it, that drone isn't sliding around.
Oh, look at this though, hang on, Crimson plants down a forward hatchery himself. He could use this with the creep, he can maybe build some spine crawlers, get some queens out. We don't yet see a roach warren, so it is just going to be slow lings at this stage. Actually just uses it to block the wall though, and now he's going to charge through. Oh. He's got those lings, and Luneth looks like he's in a spot of bother.
I'm taking notes for my ladder games right now, Death. This is so clever. He has to pull probes to try and deal with this, and now the hatchery's actually going to come down a second time here. There are no more links in production. He's focusing on that hatchery, but Luneth is continuing the cannon rush on the other side of the map. So Crimson's going to be looking to continue doing damage here. He's going to take out that pylon at the natural if he can. The probes are going to try and stop that from happening.
Yeah, the probes are doing a nice job, but Crimson's micro so far has been solid. A little bit worried with that base at the third. That will probably end up falling to a couple of cannons unless he can get some units out there very quickly. But look at the amount of damage that's been done just with these Zerglings. Fantastic stuff. 4 probes have been killed so far. He's got that queen out, focusing down that assimilator. Huge amount of drones, and he's able to expand once again. So even if that attack fails, he's got a strong follow-up.
Oh, he wants that pylon so bad. Can he do it? Oh,
yes.
He gets it with the last hit. Awesome for Crimson there. At this stage, can he capitalize on this? Like, even if the hatchery finishes, is he really going to stick stuff at that natural with it?
It can make a queen, but I think that just even having the creep here delays Luneth. It gives him map control, just forces units to be back here. It's not really going to do that much, I don't think so, but it will buy him that time. He'll be able to get this expansion up on the left-hand side. Then he might double expand. He'll have a bunch of drones. He's going for an Evo chamber and a Roach Warren at the same time, and he'll have a strong transition.
Yeah, he will. And you know what Luneth is going to try yet again? He's building a pylon near that new base. Crimson has his eyes behind the mineral lines, but actually not in front. So I'm going to cry for Crimson a little bit if he does get a couple of cannons on that base as well. And they are going up. He's got vision of it now, though.
He should see it. He really needs to keep this hatchery alive, Seth. If he loses this, Crimson's going to be in a very tough spot, because Luneth will have that expansion and he'll have just the ability to power up his units and get a much stronger army.
I'm actually wondering if Crimson's noticed. Like, it's hard to ignore that much purple on your minimap.
Oh, he's definitely noticed.
Yeah. Okay.
But he's got all of these lings that are getting dropped into the main from Luneth, and there's really not a lot here. There's no even pylons. So all of these Zerglings, Zeph, especially once they get speed, he might be able to take out a lot of these probes and even threaten that Nexus.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, he's kind of like, well, I don't care. I'm just going to try and kill you. And we've got roaches coming out here as well. That cannon's eventually going to get cleaned up by that queen. And now that speed kicks in, he's going to be able to make short work of that adept. The hatchery that Crimson has made down towards the south of his main will probably go down, but so many more units being produced by Crimson.
This is such a dirty game, but I'm absolutely loving it. I love Luneth's approach to the matchup. It's just about making Crimson as mad as possible. But that Nexus is probably going down, so we're going to go into a very weird situation where there's cannons at pretty much every base that Zerg could take. But Luneth just doesn't have any combat units at all. I mean, he just got one Adept out, but that's not going to be enough.
No, not against roaches. The probes are coming out. Mineral walking to try and get the surround on these roaches, and I mean, they are getting fairly bruised, but he's losing every single probe in return, and he just doesn't have what he needs to clean it up. GG comes out from Luneth.
Well played by Crimson. That was wild. Oh
That
my
was an
God.
experience.
What did
Yeah.
I just see? I feel like we went back in time. I remember seeing games like that in Wings of Liberty and Heart of the Swarm, but it's not every day you see a game like that. I loved the addition of the hatchery and the natural just to block that wall and allow him to slip those Zerglings by. Crimson, he's normally a very sort of straightforward macro player, so I was kind of expecting him to go back, fall back a little bit, get his macro going and play into the mid game. But he was just like, nah, I can go and kill Luneth. That's fine. And he did. And he's got that
Yeah.
win on the board. Critical win for him, and it puts his team in a very nice position now.
Yeah, I love Luna's plan there. Unfortunately, not working out for him with the cannon rush. And by God, did he try and make it work? I think
Oh,
how many? He must have made like 4 hatcheries, and he only ever kept his main. So,
yep.
solid strat. I mean, other people that didn't think to fight cheekiness with cheekiness probably would have lost there. So, that's a fun game to kick things off. Guys, we'll take a quick break and we'll get the next lobby set up. Hopefully, Pez will be ready to rock and roll up against Hut. So let's get that sorted on Ascension to Aya, and we'll be back with you very shortly.